Hi, and welcome to another episode of AKC's Home is Where the Dog Is. I'm Jessica, and today our canine star is Izzy the Labrador Retriever. Are you ready to take your dog for a walk? Well, before you leave your home, you need to choose a collar and a leash for your dog. There are many styles and options of leashes and collars, and also harnesses. Today, we'll show you a few options to help you make the best decision. Most people choose collars depending on the size, physical characteristics, and training level of their dog. A collar with ID tags is a must-have for any dog owner. This is the most basic way to locate your pet if he gets lost. One popular collar type is the flat buckle collar with a buckle or snap fastener. Remember that in addition to a collar with ID tags, a microchip such as those found on akcreunite.org is very important. GPS collars such as Link AKCs are a great way to help keep track of your dog's whereabouts, health history, and activity. The harness is popular with puppies. Harnesses take pressure off the dog's neck, so they are good for certain dog breeds with neck injuries and respiratory problems. So you've chosen a collar or a harness, and now you need to find a leash for your dog. In most places, it is a legal requirement for owners to have their dog on a leash when out in public. Having your dog on a leash will ensure that you can keep your dog under control. Leashes come in different lengths and materials. The most common leashes are made with nylon or leather. The material can vary from being lightweight enough for puppies and tiny dogs to strong enough for adult dogs. Leashes come in fixed lengths that are usually between 4 and 8 feet. A standard size leash is about 6 feet long. Retractable leashes allow your dog the freedom of movement while walking. The length of retractable leashes vary, and a standard length for large-sized dogs is about 26 feet. Even though retractable leashes have a locking mechanism in the handle, they are not the best choice for busy street sidewalks. Retractable leashes are best suited for walks in parks and open land where there are not many people or even other dogs around. Retractable leashes are also not recommended for large dogs. It is very important to know how to fit a collar on your dog so that it doesn't slip off while you're walking. The rule of thumb is so that you can fit 2 fingers through the collar. You don't want it too loose or even too tight. Wearing a harness may be different based on the design or manufacturer of the harness. This is a traditional harness. Put a small loop over the dog's head, put one leg through the bigger hole, and the final strap will go behind the dog's armpit and clip. You should also be able to put 2 fingers through the harness. When the harness is too tight or too loose, it will rub the skin and cause a rash or even damage your dog's fur. Training your dog to go out for a walk is a basic necessity for responsible dog ownership. It's even one of the requirements of the Urban Canine Good Citizen Test, which is designed to encourage the training of well-mannered dogs. Passing the CGCU test demonstrates that the owner is in control of the dog and the dog is attentive to all of the owner's moves, even when walking on a loose leash. Here to show us how to walk a dog outdoors is trainer Sarah Frazier.
To teach walking on a loose leash in an open room or an outdoor area. Begin with your dog sitting on your left side. Have treats ready in your right hand. If you want to teach the dog to heel from the very beginning, step off with your left foot as you say heel. The reason you step off with the left foot every time is so that the dog can easily pick up on the motion of the left leg moving forward. Eventually, you'll be able to start walking without verbal commands, and the dog will respond to your consistent body cues. Keeping your body facing forward, take a few steps and praise your dog for being in the heel position. If you're training with food, you can also give a food reward every few steps in the very beginning of training. Brisk walking is a good way to get your dog moving forward. When you are slow and tentative, the dog may not get the message that the point of heeling is to move along beside you. After several steps, stop by taking your last step on your right foot. Then bring your left foot in next to the right foot. You can also work on having the dog sit each time you stop. Repeat this process until your dog will heel nicely in a long, straight line. Then add other patterns. Have your dog heel in a place where there are distractions, such as children playing in the yard or other people walking by. What if the dog pulls on the leash? If your dog pulls on the leash to get where he wants to go and you allow him to pull you along, the dog has been reinforced for pulling. He got what he wanted, which was the forward motion he needed to get to another dog or to a great new smell. And once allowed to do this, he will engage in this behavior again. Don't reward the dog for pulling. Here is one way to handle pulling on the leash. When he starts to pull, stop. Stand still, don't move forward with the dog. Just wait. The dog will pull, but eventually he'll stop. When he stops pulling, you can praise him and move forward. Oh, he got so excited that you're moving forward, he's pulling again. Repeat the procedure. It won't take long until he figures out that you aren't going anywhere as long as he pulls.
So Sarah, now we know the safest way to walk our dogs, but what if my dog gets nervous with loud noises of the city?
That's a great question, and it's something that a lot of dogs can deal with in a busy city. I recommend taking out some really yummy treats, things that your dog really loves, starting in quieter places and doing a lot of rewarding your dog for paying attention to you, and also engaging them in behaviors that they know really well, like a simple sit or a hand target cue, and that can make them feel a little more confident when there's busy noises going on around them.
Right. And so what if I bring my dog out with me to run errands and they're not allowed in the store that I want to go into?
I would recommend that if you're planning to take your dog out with you, pre-plan in advance going to dog-friendly places or just staying outside. It can be a little dangerous or risky to leave them tied out in a storefront on a busy city street.
That makes sense. So speaking of busy streets, what should we know when crossing the street with our dogs?
Sure, one thing to be aware of is how long your leash is. Sometimes even for dogs that are very well trained, if they suddenly get startled by something in a busy area and they have a lot of leash, they could inadvertently trip people, which is not something we want. So maybe a slightly shorter leash and up how often you're rewarding them. So lots of rewards for crossing that busy street so that they're paying lots of attention to you.
Awesome, thank you. So thank you so much, Sarah, for all of these awesome tips.
Sure.
So let's summarize. What did we learn today? Always have a collar with your dog's ID tags. Use a harness. It can reduce neck pressure. CGC training can help your dog walk on a loose leash. A special thank you to Sarah for showing us how to safely walk with your dog, and our canine star Izzy for walking like such a pro. We hope you learned some helpful tips today. And for more videos like this, please subscribe to AKC's YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.